this whole time.
Domino's. I like working at Domino's. It's a good job, you know, but it's tougher than I thought it would be. Like, one thing that's tough at Domino's is answering the phones. And answering the phones is tough because people call for two reasons, right? They either want to A, order food, or B, complain about food that has not arrived yet. And I'm not great on picking up on when that's happening. I'll give you an example, right? The phone rings. Hi, thank you for calling Domino's. Will this be carryout or delivery? Yeah, I ordered a small cheese pizza over an hour ago. Sweet, you are all set. I noticed that I get inspired too easily. Like, yesterday I was watching a documentary about boxing, right? They covered all the greats. Muhammad Ali, Thomas Hearn, Joe Frazier. And I started thinking to myself, you know what? I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna be a boxer. Yeah, I might not be that tough. God knows I can't take a punch. But that's why you train, right? Yeah, Sam the Boxer. I like the sound of that. First thing tomorrow, I'm going to the gym and I'm going to start boxing. Then it cut to commercial, and there was an ad for a Popeye's chicken sandwich for only $9.99. I started thinking to myself, you know what? I'm going to do it. I'm going to buy a chicken sandwich. Yeah, I might not know where the closest Popeye's is, and God knows I don't have the money. But that's why I use a credit card, right? Yeah, Sam with a chicken sandwich. I like the sound of that. First thing tomorrow, I'm going to Popeyes and I'm getting a chicken sandwich. And that's how I retired from boxing. You know what the best and worst thing about music is that you are the only one with the perfect music taste. Like, yeah, this guy gets it. Like, if you love Led Zeppelin, that's because you have an amazing music taste. But if you hate Led Zeppelin, that's also because you have an amazing music taste. You know, like, someone out there might be like, man, I hate Drake. And then someone else would hear that and go, actually, I happen to really like elevator music. Like, there is someone out there right now whose favorite song is the Monster Mash. And that guy is me. I fucking love the Monster Mash. Your phone tracks you all the time, which doesn't bother me. I just wish they didn't try to keep it a secret for no reason. No, they do it in weird ways, too. Like, I remember before, if an app wanted to track you, what it would say is, hey, this app would like to track you. Would you like to A, allow it, or B, don't allow it? Now it says pretty much the same thing, but it's kind of different. Now it says, hey, this app would like to track you. Would you like to A, allow it, or B, ask it not to? That's not no. That's please don't. I don't appreciate it. Like, dude, all the apps track it. Like, Google Maps reads your text messages. Like, you don't believe me, but like, have you ever been texting a friend and they're like, hey, come meet me at this address? And you're like, all right, sure. And you go to type it in Google Maps, and Google Maps is like, yo, check out this address I just found. Oh, which, once again, doesn't bother me. Just throw me a bone every once in a while, you know? Like, if my girlfriend breaks up with me, this is a hypothetical, I don't have a girlfriend, but if my girlfriend breaks up with me, I want a notification from Google Maps being like, hey, would you like the fastest route to the Atlantic Ocean? Google Maps, my girlfriend just broke up with me. I'm heartbroken. I'm devastated. Why in the world do I want to go to the Atlantic Ocean? Because there are plenty of other fish in the sea. Google Maps? You just found the fastest route to my heart.
Hey there, everybody. This is a program called Performers on Performing. We are your hosts, Max Shultz.
I'm Fred Scibelli.
And we're going to be interviewing a lot of people like comedians and musicians and the occasional author and poet and stuff like that. And today we're joined with the wonderful Sam Rossi. There he is. Sam Rossi. I met Sam a few years ago when I started producing shows at One Broadway, and then as I kept producing in general. And Sam is one of the youngest comedians to do one of my shows and has always been just a true delight to be around. Yeah, you're welcome. And it's been great. And then you left town because that's what all smart people do. Yeah. And now you're back for the summer, so I wanted to have you on. And super glad you're here.
Yeah, no, I'm really, really happy to be here. Thank you guys for having me down.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I left for Chicago for school.
Right.
To go out and do comedy school in Chicago. I actually switched that up. I switched to marketing now.
Oh.
Because I'm still doing comedy
of
and
course,
stand up and all that, but the comedy major was like we practiced like clown for like a month.
Oh wow.
And but not like oh, I'm gonna put on like a red nose and like a wig, like not like children's birth, like traditional like 1800s,
That's so
1700s.
They're gonna say like killer clowns.
Yeah.
Commedia dell'arte.
Such an
Whole
odd.
thing. It's like I'm gonna starve to death if I keep.
Yeah, you would. Like I've taken a lot of comedy courses, but nothing like that. Nothing at all like that. But thank you for being here.
Yeah.
Seriously.
What part of Chicago are we in? Just curious. South Side, Wrigleyville?
South Loop area.
Okay.
I'm terrible at geography.
High murder right there. Very high.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, maybe I'm not there then.
Maybe I'm not there yet. Or then. But the show is called Performers on Performing, so we're going to talk a lot about like your craft and performing and stand-up and all that stuff. The thing I was going to ask this later on, but as the nature of conversation goes, I'm not going to. I'll ask you now. Has your performance changed dramatically in being differently from like the Boston area to the Chicago area? Like, do you approach stand-up differently?
I don't think it's changed too dramatic. I think it's better, but I'm hoping that's just because I've been like doing it for 9 more months.
Yeah.
And like hopefully just improved like that. I don't think there's too much of a difference because you've like seen my act.
Of course.
It's not really based on like what's currently happening
or
like
not.
the people I'm surrounded with. So
It's just what you're going through and what you're doing.
yeah,
That's what it's based on.
That's why I kind of like it, because then I don't have to like be like, oh, will this audience be fine with this? Because it's
Right.
never anything of substance.
Yeah.
Right, yeah, you're in a lot of ways similar to how I write. I imagine, I don't know how you write, we'll talk about that in a minute, but like I base 95% of my stand-up on just things I've experienced, and I think you do the same idea is, from what I know of your set at least, is to have absurd things happen to or around you, and then you tell strangers.
Yeah. It was like it's not yeah, it's all based on like stuff that happened, but like I wouldn't say bizarre, just like mundane stuff where where you kind of like realize that like, oh, I think this is like an experience that like everyone goes through, but like it's so not memorable that like in the moment you like remember it and you're like, oh, this is a thing that happens all the time. But like I don't have a joke about this, but so like hair getting caught in the drain, how it like just happens to everyone, but you don't think about that until like you're like, oh, okay, maybe if I could if I had a good joke about the drain, I could do that because everyone
Sure.
knows what a drain is.
Right, right.
Like, how do you make it something that mundane, like unique to you, that somebody is gonna like your joke? You know?
Right, yeah. And then it gets not a drain, but like, you know, because everybody does know what a drain is, I would assume. But like, you know, I also talk about a lot of mundane stuff, and I have like you know, like I have a joke about Sears, but I did a Zoom show recently where the audience was primarily in Germany, where Sears was not really a thing. So I had to take like a minute of my set to explain what a Sears department store was, and then I could explain why it was silly that I was there. And that seemed to add to it. Like the couple people from like here were like, that was great hearing somebody try to grasp Sears for the first time.
A crap in your pants story is relatable.
No matter who you
no
are.
matter where
Yes,
you go.
yes. Absolutely.
Well, I wish I had like hair in the drain problems. I haven't had hair on my head in I don't
Months,
know.
no.
Yeah. So if it clogs up the drain, it's like
I didn't know
gross
with
hair.
the hat.
Oh yeah, I know. It's a defense mechanism.
Right.
Yeah. My only weakness.
My only weakness.
No, many weaknesses.
So in general, how has stand-up been treating you? I mean, I haven't seen. This is the first time I've seen you in person in a while.
Yeah, I've been really enjoying it lately. Like, I've really done anything since I got back, but just like being like a new scene and just like having just like a fresh opportunity to be like to just meet like a bunch of new comedians because there's so many talented people in the Chicago. Like,
Yeah.
Oh, Mike's like I've barely like scratched anything because I'm still like just an open micer and stuff. But like the people I've met have been like fantastic. It's so funny and it's, I really like doing stand up out there.
Good.
But,
That's awesome.
How have you been? How things
I've been
going?
really good. God, since the last time I saw you, my second album came out in December. It's been really fun.
Congratulations.
Thank you. And that's been really fun. It's been really fun since that, writing, like starting fresh, basically. And like not, I was just explaining to somebody else, obviously not on a camera, but where like when I finish recording the album, I do it at this point, about every 2 years, give or take a few months either direction. And afterwards, I kind of scrap the album. Like I take most of it out of my set. I record because I'm tired of most of the jokes, but I think they're worthy of being recorded. So now, like when I do headlining shows, like I probably got a new, like, I don't know, you know my set pretty well, probably about 25, 30 minutes of new stuff. Yeah. But I still play with older stuff, and it's been fun, like splicing in a joke that I wrote 3 years ago about Career Day with something I just finished writing. That's been really fun. It's been really fun. It's been really fun building sets with so much to play with now. That's been really cool.
That's interesting.
You know, I have a question. I'm still an open micer as well for the most part. What do you find is like, is it a better open mic scene, different, same, not as good in Chicago? I feel there's a lot around here now.
I think it's different for sure. Which like I don't want to say too much because I've only been there for like 9 months. And I don't want them to see this and be like,
hey, wait a minute.
Yeah, just be like, you've been here for like 8 minutes and you're gonna like describe the entire scene for other people. But I'd say there's a lot. The only real difference I've noticed is that there's a lot more. They have a lot more bucket mics.
Oh, really?
Out there, yeah. Like there's not as much show and go. There's a lot more like put your name in a bucket and like
hope for the best.
Wait around for a while. Yeah. Which I kind of like because they start so late at like there are a couple that start like 11 and midnight. And it's just like, which if you're not into that is terrible.
Yes.
Like.
If you're not into that, it's the worst thing.
It's not like negotiable if you don't want to do that. But if you're like me and you are fine doing it, you do appreciate it because like I know the problem, not a problem here, but just a thing here is like if you go up first and open mic and there's like 58 people left, like you're not gonna stay for the rest because that's ridiculous. But if you don't know where your name is on a list that doesn't exist yet, like you're gonna stay. For the whole thing. Or
at least a good sum of it, yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
No, so you can't really, like... and you can't like leave for like 20 minutes and come back when it's gonna be your set because you just don't know what's happening. I think it helps like A, keep you on your toes because you can't like you don't know like
what you're going on. Like, do your set. You're like,
yeah, that's why I really like the ones where they just because there are some where they'll do like 5 at a time.
Yeah,
draw
those
5
are
at a
nice.
time.
oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
That's smart, actually.
Those,
Do they get through everybody usually, or is it like,
I think so.
like you're in the bucket, but you might not even go up?
I think so. Well, I think like most places will just go and empty the whole bucket. But I think everyone that doesn't empty the bucket has like some other system in place that's like, because I've been to a few that are like, we're going to get the 3 like people who didn't get to go up last time.
Yeah,
like
oh,
they're
that's
just
cool.
going to go up first right now. And so
cool.
that's a fair system.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that only is difficult for out-of-towners,
Yeah.
you know.
I'd
But
be so paranoid. I'm like, when am I going up? Or like, I just
know.
want to go, man. Like, let's do it.
I know I love knowing where I am in a set, in an order, I should say. I love a list.
To be clear, there are still lists.
No,
in-
I'm not assuming they're obsolete out there. I do prefer that myself. But I'm also like, you know, at a point in my life where I don't want to be at a bar till 4.
I
And then
want
show
to
up
be.
work
I
at
just
7.
can't.
Yeah, I guess same. Like, it sounds nice, but it's not practical anymore. It was once upon a time. So a question I get asked a lot by mostly non-comics, but I'm going to ask you as a comic to a comic. How, and you can answer this is a very open-ended question, but how do you go about writing? Like, because people ask me that, my answer is usually like, people assume, I think, non-comics, I think, assume that most comics, like, sit behind a desk and grind out a joke. And I don't ever do that. I have never once done that. I've tried, and I can't do that. What I do is I think of something that could be a joke. I dwell on it, like, obsessively for about 2 weeks, and then I try it out. That's how I write a joke, usually. And then I workshop it from there with like friends and the mic that we go to, that I run, that you help host sometimes, and we do that. But it's I don't sit behind a desk and like, the next 30 seconds of my set, today's the day. I don't do that. I don't do that. So what is your like process in any form of it?
I don't want to say like grind away behind a desk, but it's mostly just it's a lot of what you're saying, which is just like thinking about it for a while. But
Yes.
I do take the time to write the whole thing out just because I need to have like the whole thing rehearsed and like and timed out like before I try it.
Makes sense.
Like just out of
Makes sense.
Just on my own. I don't know. If you don't have to do that, like that sounds wonderful because then you can just go do your
That
jokes
sounds
instead
wonderful. That's awesome.
of like. Well, because sometimes I'll just be performing really tight garbage.
Yeah.
Like it's really bad, but I'm doing it with this like
By the way,
I've
great
done
album
it.
name. Really tight
That is
garbage.
a really good album name. I like that. Yeah.
That's a great.
Really tight garbage. Yeah, run with that.
No, but it would be that because it's just like I know it like inside and out, but I've never actually tried it before. So now I'm like doing it super succinct, but it's like, wow, he's done this a bunch of times. This is like really bad. Like this is, that's
Really
unfortunate. But like no, I'm as like I think for me what it is it just has to make me genuinely laugh. Like I can't be, because the problem I used to have was I used to write jokes where I'm like, oh, I think other people would think this is funny.
Sure.
Like I think this would please the masses.
Yeah.
But that's not a good way to write because then it's just like I'm not really doing stuff I know. I'm doing stuff that I think other people know.
Sure.
And so I end up in this weird gray area where I'm just kind of talking about stuff that doesn't actually happen.
Right.
Or
Yeah.
exist.
Yeah. Yes.
Like you know when like a comic will come out and be like way too angry about like some weird thing. You're like not like a Bill Burr way where you're like laugh, like you're just like I'm like really uncomfortable now. Like this guy needs to
Yeah,
out.
like the guy who comes out and is real mad about the most mundane thing, and you're like, nobody feels this way, this passionately about anything we're talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
no, I
I
get
want
that.
to be the angry comic, so I just like.
Oh, you do?
Dude, that movie. Did you see that new movie that came out? Nobody knows who the Beatles are.
Oh, yesterday. Yeah.
Yeah.
I haven't seen it.
Oh,
Like your friend
we all
sounds like
hate
that
that
guy.
movie.
Like, oh, nobody's heard of this movie. This band.
That movie was so bad.
Was it? I didn't see
I
it.
haven't seen it. I kind of want to see it.
Well, because it's just like the trailer. It's like the movie's just like an extended trailer of like what the trailer. Because the whole trailer is just him being like John Lennon. And everyone goes who? And then he goes Abbey Road, and they go what? And then that's the whole movie.
What?
And it's
That's awesome.
yeah, well, there's nothing more and nothing less than everyone forgot who the Beatles is, and this guy remembers.
Oh man.
It's like a screenplays. There's like some weird thing about like the original screenplay they had of it was something like everyone forgets the Beatles. This guy remembers the Beatles, and then he tries to bring those songs back and make them famous, but it doesn't work.
Oh.
And he can't do it. And that would have been a really cool movie.
It would have been.
Yeah.
But then whoever bought it changed it. So it's like, no, he gets like unimaginable success
Nice.
after writing one of the songs. And then he writes the other like 8 albums.
Yeah. That's awesome. Yeah, I feel like the Beatles are like any like monumental topic in stand-up. Like everybody, like them or not, everybody knows who the Beatles were.
Yeah.
Like, it's such a, it's a topic that like you could talk about and say that everybody goes, yes, I know the Beatles, but to make it interesting, like you were saying with your friend Jackson, how like he believes he's one of the 7 people who knows the Beatles. Like that's really clever. Like that's really fun. It's like that's not what people think you're gonna say with the Beatles. They think you're gonna say something like, and John Lennon was kind of mean sometimes.
Yeah.
And like, okay, we know, but whatever.
Yeah, it's like but that is just like you were saying, like it's just based on stuff that like happened.
Yeah.
It's like, and that's the cool thing. It's like the first like this has been going on for like a while, and just now I've been like, oh, I should write a joke about this.
Yeah.
Because like I was like, it wasn't even like a thing of like no one will find this interesting. It's just like, oh, it's just my friend Jackson. Like I don't really see like a joke to be made here.
I get that. Like
actually.
I mean, one of my better jokes I have, it's on the album that came up with the laundry tooth joke. I did not. I found a tooth in my laundry at the laundromat. That's the basis of the joke. Yeah, but I didn't think it'd be a joke. Like I say it on stage, but like I went home and told my fiance and my brother, and I didn't think it would be a big thing. I think they would just be like, that's weird and gross. Let's go on to the next topic. And the reason it's a joke is because my fiance like kind of overreacted and was upset that I didn't bring it home with me. But yeah, like, same idea. Didn't expect that to be a joke. Like I didn't think that'd make it to my set. But then when she freaked out, I was like, oh wait, this is funny because this is absurd to get upset about this to me.
How-
And then it has the prolonged thing too with it too, where like there's always an audience member who's like, no, you're wrong here. She was right, which is always fun for me too.
How upset was she about the tooth?
Oh, she. I'm not gonna do the whole bit, but she was upset that I didn't bring it home because it could have been a necklace. She could have made it into a necklace.
Oh, that's
Worse, yeah.
Wait,
Yeah,
we talking front tooth, molar. If it was a fang, like you could have said it was a shark.
Yeah, no, it was like probably a molar. Yeah,
Ooh, that's a tough sell.
I agree.
yeah. She just wanted like one molar to like make a necklace.
She has a tooth necklace that
I
like
could
came
see,
from
like,
a
a
human that she
ring.
doesn't know. Yeah,
If you get like
yeah.
a high school ring setting, and you could fit a molar in that. All
You
right?
could.
So you could probably like punch somebody in the head and use it as like a brass knuckle if you ever get jumped. Like,
Yeah, you definitely could.
A class ring.
Yeah, and then when they do like
'cause they're
DNA
big.
testing,
Molars are big. You need
yeah.
that class ring setting.
Yeah, but like then, when they go to do DNA sampling or whatever on who was punched, it's gonna come up with the guy who lost the tooth, and you're off scot-free.
Missing since 1985.
Yeah, dead since 1996, fighting 2023.
Just one dude who has no teeth who used to sell a bunch of rings and then
Yes.
stopped suddenly. Like, I think we got the guy.
We got him.
Yeah, we got the guy. But I get what you're saying. Like the things that you don't think are gonna make a set that do.
Yeah.
They're very fun.
Yeah. Well, I think the trap that like most of us run into like as comedians is like something will happen that really affects us, and we'll be like, oh, this affects like everyone.
Yeah.
Like this is. Like,
Yes,
but
and
it's
then you get to sprinkle in the things sometimes, or I do. I think we all do, where you find the things that affect everybody, and then you find like a handful of things that only affect you, and they're so bizarre, and people laugh because it's like the strangest things. They're like, I've never had this happen, but if I did, I might react like that too. Like, it's fun.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't need to say it's fun. Like we all know, we all love doing this.
Yeah.
I assume, unless one or both of you have been lying to me the whole time I've known you.
we gotta say it for the camera.
Right.
No.
We love this.
Oh, there's nothing better, right? There's
No, there's
nothing
not.
better than going on stage and getting a laugh. Like
No, it's the
Nothing beats
best.
it.
It's the best thing.
Really.
I love it so much, and like,
I've never felt it, but one day.
Yeah.
I
I've never felt
assume.
it, but I've heard good things.
Yeah.
No, so like, I mean, another like lowball question, but I get asked it a lot by non-comics, but how did you start, like what was your big push to start doing this? 'Cause everybody I know has a different answer, and they range from my friends in high school told me I was funny, and so I thought I'd give it a shot, or I've been a writer since I was 8 years old, and I thought comedy. Or, it ranges, but
Yeah, I think that what happened was, I don't know. I've always think what happened is when I was a little kid, my parents showed me Weird Al.
okay.
And I forget why. They had they weren't, I want to be clear, they weren't just like, you have to know who Weird Al is. Like it came up organically, and I like didn't believe that like that was like however old I was at the time, like 7 or 8. Like I didn't believe that was like a thing that like they're like, he just like changed the words to other songs, and I'm like, that has to be like legal.
Yeah.
Or something.
Yeah.
You can't do it. But then I watched it, I'm like, oh, this is really funny. Like you can and I think that was the first time I realized you could just be funny for a job.
Yeah.
Like that's
It's a
what
thing
you can do.
It's really hard, but you can
Yeah.
do it.
Yeah.
And yeah, then from there, like I got into like Jim Gaffigan and like Brian
Okay.
Regan, and found out there are people who can be funny and like also not sing. Like,
Yeah.
you can just do.
Yeah.
And also not
Yeah.
sing.
You can just do the joke part.
Yeah.
And it's and that just, I mean, for a while it was just like a love of watching stand up. Like
Yeah,
there was
same.
no real interest in like
Yeah.
doing it. But then I don't know, I had a You know what it is? I had like a lot of buddies who, I wasn't a theater kid at first. I'm not anymore. I've defected. But
Okay.
there was a period where I was like high school, and before that I was just buddies with a bunch of theater kids.
Okay.
And I would just hang out with them, and I saw that they were all like, you know, like they were all doing like they were all doing theater and like other like their own little music shows and like all that. But I think the thing I realized is like, hey, they're not very good at this, so like it would be fine for me to not be very good at stand-up.
Fair.
Somewhere else and practice, because that was the thing that was holding me back. Was like, I don't want to do it because I'd be bad at it. But then I watched a bunch of middle schoolers do it. And I'm like, oh, we'd all be pretty bad at this. So why not try?
Yeah.
Or like if one of the middle schoolers kills and you're just like embarrassed, like I can't be better than this 7th grader. Like,
Yeah.
No, exactly. Like that was the thought process behind it. Is like if I do well, everyone will be like, oh, he's a genius.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If I do poorly, it'll be like, oh, he's like in middle school. Like that makes sense that he's not.
Right. He's a
Which is like
child.
like a weird like cocoon to put my ego in. Like
Yeah.
before
you blossomed,
Yeah.
beautiful butterfly that you look at us
Yeah.
today as. This denim and purple button-down butterfly.
Now I'm. This is confident.
metamorphosis.
This is growth.
Yeah.
This is growth.
This is not what confidence and growth looks like.
This is
decomposition and decay.
When your guys' shorts turn into jeans,
yeah.
you'll know you've made it.
I got a couple of those.
When your shorts turn into jeans.
Oh, wait a minute. I was thinking the opposite. How does shorts turn into jeans?
They grow.
You grow.
I mean, they don't actually, but you know.
Yeah.
It's what he's saying is we'll never be as good as him.
You know how you don't like change your pants? You're just born with a pair.
Yeah.
And every day you shower with them, and that one day
Gotta break them in.
these will change. But only when you're ready.
Yeah. And you'll know when you're ready.
Yeah.
Nobody can know for you. Oh my goodness.
You know what's funny? I still have it. In 4th grade, we had this like lesson on butterflies, and we had to, we finished it with like a spelling test on butterfly words, and our teacher gave us these little butterfly wallets. And I still have mine at home with the spelling list of all the butterfly words.
That's really cool.
Adorable.
It is adorable.
Yeah. It smells terrible. Every time I have it in my little like, do you guys have a little like memento section in a drawer or something like that? I have it there. It smells terrible, but I still keep it.
Smells terrible.
Yeah.
What's it made out of?
I think butterfly skin, actually.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
It's like a pure, they weave the butterfly cocoons into this thread or something. I don't know.
I thought it'd be like made of like cardboard or something. I was like, does cardboard smell after a while? Like, is that a thing?
I'm bringing that butterfly wallet in for a prop.
Yes. So that's good. So every episode we have a prop in the middle, and I picked the prop this time, which is this 2-headed dinosaur where one of the heads sprouts from its back. You can see it like this. It's kind of this like conveyor belt of head sprouting out of the back. But the reason I have this, Freddie knows this. You will soon experience this, I guess. But I used to, for my shows, I used to do. I used to have. Yeah, it is a good shot. I used to have.
It looks like the dinosaur was like humping itself.
A little bit.
That shot it did anyway.
Yeah.
I was like, is this going on?
I used to send like the comedians I would book. I used to send them like the check I would pay them with in like a very cute card that I would write them that I think you have like half a dozen of. And then I realized that I should stop paying people with check because it was annoying for everybody. So I pay people with Venmo now, but I still like giving out something cutesy. So I give out like, you ever go thrift shopping? Like a Goodwill or a Savers or something?
Yeah.
All right, you know those like bags of toys that they just sell for like $4 or whatever it is?
Yeah, like that one like shelf that's just like all like the toys and.
Yeah, but they're like in plastic bags.
Yeah. Those things.
So I buy a bunch of those, and I give them out to people because I think it's like nothing makes you feel like a kid as much as doing stand-up. So this is one of those that I never gave out. It's this two-headed dinosaur that
That's awesome.
I didn't know was a two-headed dinosaur. I thought it was a one-headed dinosaur, and then it was like this, as it had been since I bought it. And then I put it on this table before you got here, and I don't even know what it is. I think I put it on like this.
Today?
Yeah.
Huh?
Do you find this out today?
Yeah, like an hour ago.
Wow.
I was like, wait a minute. There's two, and then now it's here. So.
It's like a good and an evil dinosaur.
It is. It's definitely a good and evil dinosaur, and now it's a scary evil because of the direction it's pointed. But we'll leave it like this because I can't make it balanced anymore.
See, I'm not gonna lie. I was kind of hoping you said when Max said, "Do you go thrift shop?" And I was kind of hoping you'd be like, "Does it look like I go thrift shop?"
Yeah, I was too. No, what's that?
In this shirt, does it look like I go?
Yeah, absolutely not. So a couple things. One, if you want it, you can have that as a gift for being here today, because I give them out to people anyway. So you can have the two-headed dinosaur.
No.
Okay.
No, okay. I'll take it.
You can say no. That's fine too. I'll give it to somebody else. But also, I'm curious. Just to ask a super silly question. Like, do you have a memorable like McDonald's-esque toy from being a kid?
A memorable. Okay. It's not a McDonald's toy.
That's fine, but I
it's,
mean like that caliber, I guess.
There's one toy that I don't know why I remember it so well. It was like a little red ninja.
Okay.
Like about like the size of my hand.
Okay.
It was a ninja. He was all in red, and so he had a button on his chest, right?
Okay.
And like his arms spun around, his legs spun around, like his head spun around, and you press the button and nothing happened. I don't know what the button was for. It was clearly to move one of those things and then broke before like it got to me at whatever yard sale like my parents got it from. But there's just one button where I'm like, I don't know like what this. It was like probably like a broken computer, but like for like a toy. It was like I don't even know how to begin to fix this. But I don't used to do something wonderful.
I know it used to be cool.
It entertained some kid somewhere.
Yeah.
Not you. Was it McDonald's that had those like spy toys? Remember those?
Yes.
Those were dope.
Those
but
were
you always
dope.
got, I swear, they showed like cool ones on the commercial. I always got the sunglasses with the mirror.
I had like 4 or 5
I could never
pairs
get
of
it.
those.
There was one with like I think it was like a ninja throwing star or something like that.
Yeah.
I could never get it.
No. I don't. It's not McDonald's. But I don't know what company it is. But I recently was thrift shopping. I do that a lot, and I found a very cool.
You brought up judgment. I didn't say anything
Yeah,
about
no, it
thrift
makes sense
shopping.
that I thrift shop a lot. I'm very poor.
Don't
No,
snickers and Sam's looking down at Max right now.
Yeah.
He's not gonna say it. My brother goes thrift shopping. I don't do much. That's why I'm not talking about
Max,
it.
you sounded so defeated when you said that. You're like, I got thrift shop.
No, I
coming.
do, and like.
It's
you know,
normal.
Yeah, it's normal. But I found a really cool, like probably like this big figurine of Disco Stew from The Simpsons.
Oh, hell yeah.
And so that
fine.
sits in front of my TV now. Yeah, it's very goofy. That's my most recent cool.
I
find,
had
probably
a sick shirt I got at thrift shop, and it's Kramer from Seinfeld, but like like the famous like Kramer
yeah, of course.
picture.
Yeah.
I love it, and then obviously we know what Michael Richards. Though I felt weird wearing it, and I feel like enough times pass where I can get away with wearing my Kramer t-shirt.
Yeah, I think you can too, but I also get it.
Well, it's Kramer from Seinfeld, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true.
As long as it's
character.
as long as it's not like, oh, it's a cool Kramer shirt, and you're not like, no, it's a Michael Richards shirt. Like,
Yeah,
If it's Michael Richards,
that'd be awesome, like a tour shirt or
yeah,
something.
Michael Richards tour '98.
Yeah.
Cut the sleeves off. It'd be sick.
like it's Kramer on the front, and then
Or
then like a big MR on the back.
Yeah.
He's in. Did you guys ever see Problem Child, the movie?
No.
Problem Child 1? No. He's in Problem Child. Okay, I highly recommend you guys go home and watch Problem Child. It's John Ritter, who's the man.
Okay.
This little kid that just terrorizes people, and Michael Richards plays a clown at the end. Of it. I highly recommend it. It's amazing.
That's a wonderful sound.
I'm gonna get a Michael Richards from Problem Child t-shirt.
I can't wait to see you wear that in that chair.
I guess I've seen Problem Child. That was like the movie for me back in the day.
I don't even know this.
Yeah, what's it about?
What is this?
It's about this kid. He's like, he gets brought back to this adoption agency like 100 times because like nobody can like teach this kid. Like he's just a problem child. Like he like throws kids' toys in the pool, does all this stupid stuff, and then John Ritter adopts him, and he like tricks John Ritter into like thinking he's this little angel, but he's really going around the neighborhood causing problems.
Huh.
But they're like hilarious problems.
You're right.
So it's like reverse Dennis the Menace.
Yes.
Where, like instead of Dennis being an asshole and one guy noticing.
Yeah.
Like it's now.
But he does like messed up stuff. Like I haven't watched it in a while, but he does messed up things.
This sounds like Clifford, but better. I don't know if you've seen Clifford with
The big red dog?
No. With Martin Short? It's this god awful like late 80s, early 90s movie where Martin Short, who at the time was like an adult man, is playing a 10-year-old.
Oh yeah, I can see Clifford.
And it is a nightmare it is nightmare fuel, but it's also so funny.
Was Clifford the name of the dude in Mad TV when he'd be like, "Look what I can do"? You know what I'm talking
about? I think so.
I like that Clifford too.
I do too. but yeah, it reminds me of like that because he's just this nightmare child, but he's an adult, but no one acknowledges that, including him. Like he is 10 and everyone accepts that the whole movie, but he's like a grown man. It's so weird.
There's that one joke about like, hey, you don't look like you're 10.
Yeah, hey, you have stubble. Yeah, super weird, but like he terrorizes a little bit. Pretends to be innocent, but it sounds like Problem Child is just that, but better.
You know what? And they say sequels usually aren't as good as the first, but I would recommend Problem Child 2 as well. It's
Okay.
good. He gets an adopted sister that also, goes around causing problems.
Oh, wow.
It's a good flick.
So homework for anybody.
Michael Richards is not in the second. I don't want to spoil anything, but he's not in the second.
Was that because his reputation had changed at this point?
Maybe. I don't know how the years lined up, but he wasn't the good guy in Prom Child 1. So let's just say the Prom Child had to use his problem-causing abilities to basically, save the day.
Oh.
At the end.
Okay. I like that. So the clown's a one-off villain.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. If there was a Prom Child 3, could he make a comeback? Again, I don't want to give any spoilers, but I think he could.
Prom Child could have a coterie of supervillains.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's how the series ends. Is just problem children.
Ooh, I like it.
It's a TV show.
Yeah.
Afterwards.
Yeah, it's another reboot, but of a movie that, as it turns out, 2/3 of this room don't know.
That's basically how every one of my jokes go. When I go on stage, I tell them like 2/3 of the people like, what is this person talking about?
I mean, I was so...
Let this guy out of the hospital.
Yeah, let this guy out of the hospital. Oh, man. I mean, it's so... I mean, back to stand-up and not movies. But, like, it's so ridiculous, like... Not ridiculous, but so wonderful, I guess. Like, you're a great example. Like, what you just said is what I'm going to say. But you... one of your first mics, I think, was my mic, the first time you showed up. And that was a little over a year and a half ago. And your shit's gotten so developed since then.
Yeah, you got to work it out. Just
yeah, man.
Put in some time. And I think that's one thing that I'm starting to learn. It took me a little bit. It was like, you got to, even if you hate it, which I hate usually everything the first time you do it, like, you got to like pick something and just like work on it. Whether like sometimes I'll go back, I'll watch it. I like to film everything I do, and then like I'll write out the joke and see like, maybe I should like cut this out or change a little bit. But
yeah,
I think that's something I do often, for sure.
Yeah.
Good. I practice stand-up often, and I am Freddie Scibelli.
You'll often catch me practicing. No, sorry.
Yeah.
No, I get it, because I used to have like, well, I used to be like, I'm not gonna write any of this out unless I like know the entire joke off the top of my head. But then, like you're saying, you eventually realize like, I'm not gonna be, at least me personally, the way I go about it, like the best joke I can write is not gonna like just suddenly come to me.
Yeah.
Like
Sure.
as I'm walking around, like I have to be like actively thinking about it and like, yeah, I have to be actively thinking about it and like have the whole thing written out and just it gets. I find that most of my work gets done like before I go on stage. Like I workshop it a lot like before I like send out the finished product.
Yeah.
To, like,
Right,
open
right.
mics to see if it
Yeah.
works at all.
Yeah, you know, like I hate the worst feeling, and like we've all been there when you get up on stage and nobody's laughing and like your set stinks. But at least like I'm okay with that happening as long as I feel like I went up prepared. You know what I mean? Like it's okay if I like mess up, but like I hate going up there and being like, oh, I didn't even at least like think about what I was gonna talk about, or like write down a little like mini set list. And then I get like the bombing feeling, but like then like the disappointed in myself feeling afterwards. I'm like, I screwed that up.
Yeah, I hate more than most things with stand-up when you go to like a mic. It's only ever at a mic that this happens. You go to a mic and they're like, "Oh, you're up now." Like I've had no. What do you mean? Like I can't just do a set the second I just walked in the door. I hate that. This only happened to me a handful of times, but it is the worst.
Like do you mean at like a show or like a mic?
A mic.
Right, yeah.
Like a show, like I know where I'm in the order or whatever, or, you know. But when it comes to like just going somewhere to do a set, and they're like, "Oh, great, you're here. You're here. Go up." Like, no, give me a couple minutes.
That's why I have to like get all my stuff like done like before I even leave the house.
Yeah.
Just because I'm like, I really don't want to. I don't know. I have so much fear of like not like having to interact with like anyone at all during my like sets and whatnot. So I just try to like have it be like in that situation, I'd just be like, oh, okay, I can't. That does suck, like always. Just being like, oh, okay, I guess I'll put like my like bag down and like go up and do it.
Yeah.
Leave. But like, I think I want to go back on what you were saying about like the not preparing and then being upset you didn't prepare, because I think it's different if like you go up and like you try your set and you did like the best you can and then it doesn't work, because then you like have time to think about like, okay, why didn't that work? Or like, but like probably some of it will like kind of work and you can be like, oh, okay, people like this part though, so like how do I get it to be more like that part? Like, what was that part? But when you don't prepare and you're just like going on your own, like the second you're off stage, like, well, I know what went wrong. Like I fucked up like these words. Sorry, I swore again. I know what went wrong. I messed up these words, and now I'm not. Now I have to wait until like tomorrow at the earliest to go.
Because you blew your chance. Like even
Yeah.
if there's one person there, it's like it's still your chance to go up and do something that you are setting out as like a goal. So you don't want to mess it up.
Yeah.
It's just the frustration of like, I don't know if this works now, and I can't check until tomorrow, and I could just know right now if I'd done it right.
Yeah. Do you ever like go up? I like occasionally I'll do it, but and I don't know, same thing you, Max. But like, do you ever go up intentionally with the idea of like not doing one of your jokes just to like practice like crowd work at a mic or something like that?
I don't have any interest in doing crowd work at all. Like my goal is to just like do my set from beginning to end without having the audience be involved. I mean, I want them to laugh and enjoy it, but like I don't want to talk to people as I'm
I hear you.
just because like I'm not like I'm fun to like talk to like a degree, but not enough where it's like, oh, I paid to see this. That was worth like, I liked where hung out with people for 15 minutes.
I like that you hung out.
I'm not distracted. There's some comics who do it really well, and like
no, I hear
a
you
lot
saying
of
it,
crowd
yeah.
work comics where I'm like, I enjoy watch. It's just for
Yeah.
me personally. I'm
Yeah.
like, I just have no interest in talking to anyone.
I think we do need to wrap it up in a minute, but I did want to ask you, like, are there any like social media plugs or anything like that you want to throw out there?
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, thank you for being here. Seriously.
I got a Instagram and a Facebook. Both are Sam Rossi, the comedian. Facebook, Sam Rossi, the comedian. Or Instagram is Sam Rossi, the comedian. Facebook is Sam Rossi Comedy. I don't really care if you follow on Facebook.
Right.
Instagram would be
Instagram would be
much
ideal.
more. Yeah, thank you. I don't know. That one, I think. Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah, but Sam, thank you so much for being here.
Yeah, this was
And
a lot of fun.
absolutely.
I think we're gonna call it now. And this was great. Thank you so much for doing this.
Yeah,
Yeah, absolutely.
It's really
Yeah.
nice to meet you.
Cool. Yeah, you too, man.
Yeah. And here's your dinosaur.
Yeah, sweet. I will. Hold on, this is the outro.
Yeah. Actually, you doing that as the outro to every episode, it's just, that's
Yeah.
why I gave you the dinosaur.
Always.
So that we can always end with
I
you
like
doing
the last like 12 seconds. Go. Here's your dinosaur, and like suddenly cut to like
you. Even though I want
wanna
the
hear
prop
that.
is.
It was like the dude from Saw when he like wheels in with this tricycle. Like,
Yeah.
like Sam's gonna kill somebody.
Yeah.
When we were in the parking lot, there was this dude in a U-Haul truck.
Oh my God.
It had like aliens on the side of it, and he just had buckets of water, and he was like splashing in the back of the U-Haul truck and scrubbing it. He definitely had some dead bodies. He could have been the Saw guy.
Yeah.
He was like cleaning out some blood.
He's
back
up
there
next,
for sure.
actually. Yeah, we're gonna bring him in, and
Yeah. Well.
it was in a lot of
I'm a
ways it
film
was a
fan.
performance.
Yeah.
It was a performance. But thank you all for listening, or watching, or whatever we're doing, and see you next time.
I don't really care where you stand on gun control. The only argument that ever bothers me is guns don't kill people. People kill people. Because to me, that's like the same thing as being at a sleepover and it's 12:30 and you turn to your buddy and you're like, hey, man, what do you want to do tomorrow? And he's like, don't you mean today? Because it was Saturday. And then at 12, it's Sunday. So don't you mean later today? It's like, technically you're right, but you're kind of making me wish I had a gun right now. Do you guys like Marvel stuff? Okay, that's not strong enough. I'm not doing it.
No, I fucking love Marvel. Do it!
Don't lie to me, you fucking. I'll do an anti-Harry Potter joke because there wasn't much love for Harry Potter when we checked earlier. So this is my anti-Harry Potter joke. I don't mind if you like Harry Potter. What I absolutely do mind is if you talk about it to me like you're a real person. That's an awful thing to do. I think if you talk about Harry Potter, your phone should explode and kill you. That's that dude. Like, did you know in the movies it's Professor Wimblebimble that gives Harry the Wonkle Stone? But in the books it's Professor Donklebunkle. Hello? Like that's my idea. Okay. Shouldn't. I don't do that joke a lot, and that's why. I think some people want to bring back the Founding Fathers to ask them questions. That seems like a waste of time to me. The only person I would ever want to bring back from the dead, see their opinion on stuff, is Anne Frank. Mostly because she'd be walking around and people would be like, oh, you're Anne Frank. And she'd be like, oh, how do you know that? And we'd be like, oh, because you're famous. And she's like, well, why? Well, I'm not a celebrity or anything. Why am I famous? We're like, oh, because we all read your diary. What? Why? Your dad turned it into a movie, he sold the rights. What? She'd be horrified. It would be. All right, that's all the new stuff I want to try, and I'll never be trying it again. I'll do this one, though, head out of here. Like I said, I'm heading off to Chicago soon. The reason is because I'm going to college. I'm going to college in Chicago. I'm very excited about it. It's going to be a fun time, I'm mostly excited to be out of high school. Because I don't know if you knew this, but high school is useless. It's not a thing you need. Like, when I was in high school, I had a teacher who tried to teach us how to use a map, which is insane. She was giving us map homework. I'm like, nah, man, I gotta get to sundial class. Like, map, But the crazy thing was the reasoning behind it, because she was like, well, what if one day you're lost and you don't have your phone? Like, what if I don't have my phone? I'm an 18-year-old kid in this day and age, in this country, in this society, and you're asking me, what if I don't have my phone? But I'll have my map with me? All right, my name is Sam Rossi. Thank you guys very much.